Well, the latest book review for anyone remotely interested is the late great Christopher Plummer's memoirs, In Spite of Myself. As you can see, a hefty tome. Hopefully you chaps will join us for this and indeed maybe even enjoy it. Hello to my precious few who might be listening or watching this. Just a few words and some thoughts on the late great Christopher Plummer's memoirs, In Spite of Myself. I've read this a couple of times before the other week, just gone, and it was in my to read pile anyway. Sadly, Christopher Plummer passed away at 91, and you think to yourself, well, 91, good innings, incredible, my favourite actor, and stories to tell. I've always liked this book. Not because I'm a fan, but I think you could read it even if you were not a fan. It's a hefty read. It's over 600 pages, almost 700. And apparently it took Christopher Plummer a few years to write, at least 8. And you can sort of feel that he wrote it. And I sincerely hope he did. A lot of books nowadays are ghost-written, of course. Plummer naturally takes you through from birth to, whenever he finished. And there were stages to his life, his Canadian childhood and early adulthood, and then the time in New York, and then the time he spent in Britain, and then effectively the final stage when he moved to Connecticut with his third wife. And there are some incredible, there's a great amount of humour, there's things that raise your eyebrows, there are more famous names mentioned as than you can imagine. And as a Star Trek fan, it tickles that he did some at late teens, both on radio and television in Canada, with William Shatner, who was a couple of years younger than Christopher Plummer, and John Colicos, who I also like as Baltar in the original Battlestar Galactica. And to think these three, or at least colleagues, is quite something. And also the fact that Christopher spent almost 10 years living in this country, Britain, and his life was utterly extraordinary. I mean, I don't think he flinches from the womanizer he did, even during the making of The Sound of Music, or at least one Fraulein. And indeed, it is a film that in all interviews I have seen of him, even if he's been asked, you see the same question effectively asked. He never really said that he disliked the try to inject some sort of three-dimensional aspect to font. And he never hated the film. He just said it was a little bit sickly and sweet in its content. Indeed, it was Doug McClure who described it as being hit over the head with a horn card. The great shame about reading this book is that there's no way of asking the man questions. I mean, I wanted to meet him in some capacity. Of course, I'm so far down the pecking order, I'm not even a reporter, but if you ever want to find out more about the man, want some kind of humour, even if you don't like films or whatever, then please check it out. And as I say, there's a lot of names mentioned, and I can't mention them all. There are no index pages to this, which didn't really help me out the other week when I was trying to remember a story he told. But needless to say, it's peppered with a lot of photographs. There's no sort of plates like you get in books. And somebody, as a theatre critic in America, said when the book came out, it's more than a memoir. This is a very entertaining book. And the kind of book you can't put down once you get into it, but I had to, because the days of me being able to more than 400 pages in a sitting are behind me for the time being. So that and myself, if you like these very brief words and details, do let us know. If you didn't, do let us know. If you liked it, let it be known, and the other way. And subscribe. I might have more of these later if anyone fancies other reviews and film reviews and a touch of history. Thank you.